Welcome to Pink Radio with Prestige. This is the place for you, the diva boss entrepreneur who needs quick tips on building your crave-worthy brand. This is your host, Nicole Doss, CEO of the Prestige Society, a membership organization for women entrepreneurs who believe in building powerful networks while slanging in their industries. So I want you to go ahead and grab your favorite cup of coffee and get your favorite tips right here with Prestige. Hey everyone, welcome to Pink Radio with Prestige, and today is a very special edition. So normally I do not do 2 posts within a week, but I want to do a post today because today is a very special day. That's right, it's my birthday, and I know it's a day where we're supposed to eat lots of cake, drink lots of wine, and also get great gifts, but today I feel like I just want to pay it forward and that I want to be able to give gifts back to the fabulous girl bosses who trust the Prestige brand, who have followed us and supported us all through our growth since 2012. I want to take this time to talk about my birthday year, like the year of 38. So yes, I am turning 39 today, or I am 39 as of today. And you know, my birthday last year was a really spotty time for me. I remember just being hit with a lot of different financial things, and I just remember feeling like I was in this rut and I could not get out. And so today I laugh, not because like I've arrived financially and I'm like doing the best thing in the world as I sit on my yacht and drive my Porsche every day. That's not my reality at all. But what I can say is that I have definitely learned some really awesome experiences or nuggets that I feel are absolutely important for us to be able to grow and develop as businesswomen. And so I would be remiss if I did not share this information with you. So let's just go ahead and jump right into it. So the first thing that I definitely want to share is that please don't feel like I'm beating a dead horse into the ground, but it's your purpose. I am so serious. If I learned anything this year, I've learned the importance of making sure that I align my business to my purpose. And I know it sounds cliche, and I know that it even sounds like something that every single motivational speaker says, or every single life coach says, or every single business coach says. But I gotta tell you, it is something you definitely need to take into consideration. And here's why. Last year, I've had a great opportunity in securing 2 corporate contracts. I know that's not like, game changing as far as the number of corporate contracts, but it was the first year we have ever been able to secure corporate contracts. So that was a really great accomplishment for Prestige, both in the companies who signed us on, as well as the dollar amount that we were blessed with that particular account or contracts. The thing about the contracts was that when it came down to doing the work, I realized 2 things. Once, I lowball myself, and I knew better. I know my rates. I know the equation to use to get to the dollar amount that I ask for. So when I lowballed myself, I realized that it wasn't based on fact. It was based on insecurity. Do not negotiate based off of insecurity. You will fail every time. So that was one thing that put a little bit of a bad taste in my mouth, but nonetheless, there were still really great dollar amounts that we have received from those 2 contracts. But the second thing I realized is how much I really didn't like doing the work. It reminded me too much of my 9 to 5. It reminded me too much of the things that we have done in the past with other organizations, or that I have done personally in the past in my career with other organizations. And I just did not enjoy the work. And the one thing I will tell you is that if you're working a 9 to 5 and you are creating a business, you're creating the business hopefully for a number of reasons. Yes, one, because you're probably some people have different stories. Some people have a story where they are not sure what they're able to accomplish financially with their careers. So they create a business to be able to give them the opportunity to experience financial freedom. Okay? That's not my particular reason why I decided to go into business for myself, because I've always had a very ambitious spirit, and so climbing the corporate ladder was always something that was just part of how I was raised, and always had been on my mind and on my radar since I had entered the workforce. So starting a business for me wasn't quite, it wasn't the financial side of it. I did not need to start a business financially. But I no longer found value or happiness or excitement in the work. Because when you work for Fortune 500 companies, there's a certain demographic, especially depending on what the industry that you're in. There's just a certain target demographic that you're supporting. Your executives may have a certain perception of the employees that they are supposed to be providing a service to and helping them develop and helping them be high performers. And it just did not, even to this day, just kind of mesh well with who I am. And so for me, I decided that all of my gifts that I have poured into training and developing leaders that I've done in other businesses, as far as Fortune 500 companies, or nonprofit, government agencies, I decided that I wanted to take that to the girl boss, to the woman who really has everything to lose, but yet everything to gain, depending on the outcome of her business. And I realized that women entrepreneurs are really great at their craft. Yes, they can bake an awesome cake, and yes, they can style fabulous hair, and yes, they may be able to create an awesome line of clothing, but when it came to their business acumen, I realized they were lacking. And so what I really wanted for myself, for my business really, was to really focus on a space where I don't know, I just felt like I really wanted my girl bosses to win, and I just really wanted to make sure that I felt like I was of value and that I was whatever. And I was always really interested in my purpose in life, and how was I going to make sure that I was operating in my purpose? Because when you aren't, I didn't like the feeling. I didn't like that empty void of a feeling. And taking on those corporate contracts really kind of fed all of that. It fed, the feelings I had about working in corporate America. It fed all the feelings I had about instilling information to executives around how to think about how they lead and how they impact others when they lead. And then also seeing the resistance because, they don't necessarily believe it. And there's really not as much at risk for an executive who could care less if he's, a great influential leader. Because at the end of the day, he still gets his awesome salary and he or she still gets their awesome bonus. And so whether or not their employees feel motivated or valued, it takes a really special leader to care about their employees in that manner. And it's just not in the makeup of every single leader out there in corporate America. So, I just doing some of those jobs or those tasks or those contracts, I just didn't enjoy it at all. But like I said, the money was good, right? So then I started looking at last year doing websites for small businesses. Once again, money was great. Did not enjoy it. I actually hated it. And I believe in providing white glove service to my clients. And so I started to set up these client touch points every week with my clients on their website. And I just realized I just did not enjoy doing it. Now, I don't mind teaching someone how to create their own website because teaching really is really who I am. But spending the time and creating websites, I realized that's not what I'm here to do. I'm really here to teach, to motivate, to inspire, and to allow people to understand that they have the ability to accomplish the incredible. So I really was not working or operating in my purpose, but I definitely was seeing money as a result of it. But still, even with that, I was like struggling financially. I have no idea. It was like almost laughable how I was struggling financially and not liking what I was doing at all. So when I tell you that it is absolutely important that you align your business to your purpose, I am telling you this because if you are creating your business because, yes, you want to have more of a financial impact in your life, but also because you do not feel fulfilled at all in what you do in your 9 to 5, you now have the ability to build that for yourself. But if the foundation of your business is built on things that are of superficial value, you will not be a sustainable business. There's no way you can sustain on shallowness. It's almost like building a house on a foundation that is absolutely hollow and shallow, and that just looks sturdy and strong, but really once you try to apply pressure to it, it just cracks. That's what, doing things that seem Instagrammable, or just trying to be seen in the right places, or just looking like you're doing things right. That's really what that foundation is. It's shallowness. It's a shallow foundation. And then when you start to build upon that foundation, meaning, building a business, dealing with hardships, trying to figure out what works and what doesn't work, testing things to market to see what's going to succeed for you, what's not, it's going to literally just fall. Your foundation's going to allow everything to collapse because at the end of the day, what you're building it upon is not on something that's of substance. When you think of purpose, it's almost like pouring concrete as your foundation to your business. Like just pouring this slab of concrete and I don't even know if that's something that people should do in home building, but you get the point, right? So it's like pouring the slab of concrete as your foundation. And even though as you begin to build from your, one floor to the next, and as you begin to place beams and studs into the framework of your business, as you begin to put sheetrock on the walls, and as you begin to put flooring and lighting in, inside of this framework, now your business can sustain all. And when you put the right armor around the framework of the business, when you pray, and that armor being when you pray over your business, when you ask for divine intervention, when you ask for direction from your higher power, when you put that armor around your business, that's putting the right type of exterior on that framework of this building that you're building. And so what's really important about that is that it now allows you to be able to weather the storm. So not only are you able to shine and stand and be strong during the sunny times and the great times and the great weather of standing and being and existing, but it also can withstand the strong winds. It can also withstand the rain. It can also withstand the hurricanes. It can also withstand, all the lightning and the thunder. It can withstand all of that. But when you are only building your business on things that seem like what you think you should do because it seems like this is what the trend is. This seems like what girl bosses are doing. This seems to be the kind of thing that people get excited about. You are all wrong. There's a gift and a talent that God has placed in your spirit for a reason, and it's really up to you to be able to act on it. And to have the faith that if you stay obedient to what He has placed in your life, that it will be able to come into fruition. I remember, maybe it was year 1. So no, not the first year, but the second year of Prestige Society. We decided to move from having meetings in my home to having a meeting space. And so Greg Haygood Photography had a beautiful storefront photography studio in Main Street of Morristown, New Jersey. Beautiful, beautiful space. And in this space, we decided to be able to meet, and we decided we wanted to open up membership. And at that time, we charged $40 a year for membership. One of my founding members said, "Are you sure you want to charge $40 for the year? Who will pay $40 for the year?" When your business is grounded in purpose, when people begin to second guess decisions, you are able to stand unwavering because you know that it's so much bigger than you, and that when you made your decisions or you've thought of things, you've had a different type of consult. It was a supernatural consult. It was a consult with the divine, right? It's with your Holy Father. It's with God. And when you have that consult, there's directions, there's steps that are being ordered. And so at that time, I remember saying, like, no, actually, I think $40 is way beneath value, but we have to start somewhere. Now, today, you can only become a member if you've completed the Prestige Society's Boss Academy, which is huge because that price tag is a $3,500 price tag. And our slogan is empower, enlighten, elite. So just from that alone, that means this can't be for everyone. But because this is my purpose, my job is to create different platforms where everyone can have access to information regardless of where they are in their journey. That means where you are in your entrepreneurial journey, your financial life, all of that. So between our blogs, our podcasts, our free Facebook group, there's all these different things that you'll be able to get certain nuggets from the Prestige Society brand. But if I didn't follow my purpose, it would only take one person to deter me, say you're right. I would never charge. So, of course, there's other stories of other things of people trying to sow doubt or insecurity, but the purpose, the goal of me telling you about my gift number one to you, which is really hoping and praying and saying that I really want you to have the gift of purpose. I really want you to begin to think about, are you aligning your business to your God-given talents, to what it is you believe you are placed on this earth to do, and then to continue the conversation by constantly praying and meditating over your business. So with that being said, I take you on to number two. And number two is stop believing that it's your 9-to-5's job to fund your business. I struggle with the second gift that I give to you. And of course, you know, all of my gifts come with gems. So this is what I mean. Like that information, like I really struggle giving that to you because it truly goes against what every person has probably told you about starting your own business. They probably already told you to make sure that you are going to allow your business to fund your dream. Here's the problem I have with that. First, the problem that I have with that is that I want you to think about your finances before you even think about your business. And I want to ask you some very simple questions, and I want you to answer them as we go along. 1, do you save anywhere from 20 to 30% of your salary on a bi-weekly basis today? Do you pay yourself before you pay any of your bills today? Do you invest currently in things like stocks and mutual bonds so that you can build wealth for your family today? Do you pay off your credit cards and all of your debt in a timely manner to ensure that you are building the best credit for you and your family? All right. If you have not answered yes to all of these, then that clearly means you really don't have a lot of wiggle room to start funding a business. And so what that begins to look like is that you're taking money from groceries. You're taking money from you're not taking money from daycare, but you may be taking money from groceries. You may be taking money from some of those bills that you think could just wait a little bit longer before you pay them. That's a problem. And the reason why that's a problem is because Now you've added a completely different element to what you want to build. You've built, now you want to you have a website. The website will cost you probably $300 a year. And if it's not $300 a year, then it's about anywhere from as low as $12 a month to as high as $35 to $45 a month, depending on the capabilities that you need for your business. You also need to buy web hosting so that you have a URL that represents your business's name. You also need to be able to have an email that is not Gmail. So that'll either be part of your web hosting package or you'll pay an additional $4.99. You'll also need to be able to pay for anything that you need, like products, maybe an email contact list, so that you can be able to get more than just, a certain free limited amount of email addresses. You may want to create an app as well. That'll cost you some money too. When you think of these things, this is what you're going to start paying out towards with your check. And if you really don't want to spend that money from your check, then what I encourage you to do is to look at the business that you have today. And instead of depending on your 9 to 5, and I don't even care, you can do an initial investment. Like, okay, I've saved my money and I am going to invest in my business. Well, guess what? That's completely different. Because you've saved money and dedicated it to that. But even that should be only if you said yes to those other things that I've asked you just a few moments ago. So, if you get to this point where you're like, yeah, I can afford to invest in my business with my 9 to 5, that's great. But know that just because they said it takes money to make money, it does not make it true. So what you can do right now is you actually have the ability to be able to find ways that will not include a lot of overhead, or find ways that you can generate income on a monthly basis now. If you need a new logo, set a goal for you to sell something so that you can pay the person at Fiverr to create this particular logo. Oh, you need a new website? You're selling t-shirts? How many t-shirts do you need to sell? Oh, you're selling books? How many books do you need to sell? You don't have enough money to make the t-shirts? Use something like Guten or Printful that will allow you to make the shirts and you make a commission off of it. These are so many different options girl bosses have. But what ends up happening is that, and this is me included, we get so comfortable with investing and taking money from our 9 to 5 and placing it into the business that we really don't understand that we're not fully operational. And when you're not fully operational, what ends up happening then is that it becomes harder and harder for you to take the leap. It makes it harder for you to separate yourself from that check, because what you're trying to do is now all of a sudden when you're ready to leave, you're ready to go, now you're trying to build the business to sustain that. Well, guess what? When you had that online boutique and you wanted to buy money for the new things to be in inventory, if maybe you did not take aside the money from some of the sales you made from the previous season, maybe you used the check from your job to go ahead and invest and buy some more things. These are things you want to be wary of. So I give you the gift of stop believing that your 9 to 5 needs to be the sole investor for your business. And I encourage you to focus on these next 12 months on your business being the sole, if not the sole, being the large majority of the investor of the business. And this makes you so much more of a benefit, of an asset to others. Meaning, if you ever wanted to go and ask for a loan for your business so you can expand, it'll be super easy now because you can show how financially stable your business is. As you're trying to grow your business, the only thing you're going to be bringing to the table when you ask for a loan are projections. The problem with projections is that that's risk of cost to that, tied to that. And the risk is you may meet those projections, you may not. So you definitely want to get to the space where you are allowing your business to generate enough money to be operationally sound for your business. All right. And My third and final gift is the gift of exceeding all expectations. And this gift is called my Level Up gift. It's so funny. I created this line for my shirts called Level Up. So now I have like shirts and I have coffee mugs and t-shirts and hoodies and sweatshirts. And you know what? It's so funny because I'm just like, we need to level up. Now, I do believe that when we talk about next levels, you are in your next level now. But when I say level up, I mean, you have to step up your game. You need to be able to say to yourself, there is something that you were not quite doing correctly. So, I believe that I can only speak to myself in this manner. So I'm going to speak to myself, okay? One, I know that I need to become more organized. So in doing that, I created my own planner so that I can map out my day and I can become more organized as well as more productive in what I am accomplishing on a daily basis, because that's very important to me. Two, I want to be able to have office space. And I don't just want office space for the sake of having office space. I want office space because I want, what's my number 3 thing that I'm leveling up on, is I want to have staff. Because one thing I'm realizing more than anything is that I can't do it alone. And I realized that I can't do it alone and I can't just do it remotely yet. Now, I have managed teams remotely in my past life and I feel that I have been successful in that space. But with this thing being from the ground up and me trying to figure out what new things I really want to delegate to certain individuals and what those roles will be, I realized that there's this face-to-face component that I really want to have with my team as we grow. And then as we grow, then I'll feel more and more comfortable building these relationships remotely. But that's kind of a desire that I have. So I want to have staff and I want to have a location. And then I want to be global. That's the third thing. I really believe that we have the ability to make awesome impacts in the lives of girl bosses, and I want to be global. So with that, those are things that are extremely important to me that really is good. Oh, no, I missed one. And my fourth thing, I'm always just saying 3 things. So my fourth thing that I want in my season of leveling up is to acquire skills necessary in order for me to grow. So I am always someone who is a student, forever learning, forever growing. And for me, I really want to be in a space where I can just say I'm growing and that I'm able to take these skills and teach someone else and be able to give them these skills so that they have the ability to apply them to make some more money with their business. And so I want to finish learning a few things and kind of be in that space. But those are the things that I want to do to level up. If you're merely looking the same last year as you look this year, if you celebrated a birthday without even a desire to do something new for you, to do something new for your business, then use my birthday as an excuse to level up now. So we're going to just go ahead. Those 3 things, right? So the 3 things are, first, I want to make sure that you're anchored in purpose. And I know that I beat that thing into the ground, but that's because I truly believe that when you come out here chasing checks and you are not anchored to your purpose, you are chasing checks that cannot be caught. And there is nothing worse than a black girl lost out here trying to be something that she's not because she's not anchored to her purpose. That's huge. That's a problem. So I cannot stress to you the importance of you being anchored to your purpose, because building your business on a foundation that is shallow, that is fragile, that is superficial, it will crack and it will cause your business to collapse. So get anchored in purpose right now. 2, stop telling yourself that your 9 to 5 will fund your business. If you want to make an initial investment, that's fine. But as you build your business plan and as you build your monthly goals, begin to shift your mind so that you already know what it's going to take in order for you to generate sales, for you to be able to be operationally sound. Remember, every business has a ramp up period. Usually, what I've seen in businesses where we've tried to help people get to a steady state is that the ramp up period could be anywhere from 3 to 6 months. So think about what your ramp up period is. Identify things with your business, like what are your peak seasons? What are your low seasons, your slow seasons? Get to know your business. Like, hey, become your business's best friend. Like, cozy up with your business and truly understand what you're doing and stop just calling yourself a boss because it sounds cute. Because like I said, an entrepreneur can make $10,000 a year, and there's nothing glamorous about making $10,000 a year. My last and final point is you need to level up. It is time for you to expect more from yourself so that you are in a position to give more to your clients. And you know what? I gotta say, that's about it. Because today is a great day. This is my birthday. These are my birthday gifts that I am giving to you. I hope that you enjoy this message. I know it's probably a little bit longer than my previous ones, but you know, it was my birthday, so I was feeling a little sentimental. So I hope you appreciate it. And I hope you guys have an awesome, wonderful, and blessed day. Bye.